As You Like It by William Shakespeare, performed by Elianna and Rosie Seddon.
You are banished to the forest of Arden, my brother.
There is to be a wrestling match before Duke Frederick and all his court. Already Charles, the strongest man in the country, has broken the ribs of 3 young men. Now a 4th is awaited. Celia, the daughter of the Duke, and Rosalind, her cousin, enter. Duke Frederick gives a sign, and Charles and Orlando begin to fight. The girls exclaim while watching.
"O Hercules, give us thy strength, young man."
If I were invisible, I would catch a strong fellow by the leg. Mum.
Oh, excellent young man.
The Duke enters furiously.
Mistress, you are banished from this court.
Whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Eagerly they dress themselves for their adventure, Celia as a country maiden and Rosalind as a youth.
What shall I call thee now, art a man?
Call me Ganymede, but what will you be called?
No longer Celia, but Elianna.
Ganymede and Elianna are in the forest of Arden. A shepherd approaches.
I pray thee, shepherd, bring us where we may rest ourselves and feed.
I'm sorry, I'm shepherd to another man, and his flock and cottage are all for sale.
I pray thee, buy thou the cottage and flock,
and we will mend wages.
At the palace, Duke Frederick discovers his daughter's flight with Rosalind, and having heard of their talk with Orlando, suspects they have all fled together. In a rage, he sends for Oliver and orders him to find his brother Orlando or risk banishment himself. In the forest, Orlando has decorated all the trees he can find with poems of love to Rosalind.
There is a man who haunts the forest that abuses our young plants, all deifying the name of Rosalind.
It is he. It is me.
I would cure you if you would but call me Rosalind and come every day to woo me.
I would not be cured.
Love grows in the forest as fast as weeds. Orlando meets with Ganymede daily to tell of his love for Rosalind.
No, faith, men have died from time to time, but not for love. But come now, I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition, and ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me.
I will.
There is yet another victim of Duke Frederick's fury in the forest. Oliver de Boys, sent to fetch his brother, has wandered lost and wretched till at last he lies down to rest. As he sleeps, a lioness approaches. Then it is that Orlando, coming upon his brother and seeing his danger, fights with the lioness and overcomes her. But in doing so, Orlando is wounded himself. Faint with loss of blood, he sends Oliver to keep his appointment with the shepherd boy. All enmity between the brothers is now ended.
Good morrow, fair ones. Orlando doth command him to you both. He sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell this story, that you might excuse his broken promise.
Why have no Ganymede, sweet Ganymede? Don't.
Celia and Oliver rush to help Rosalind, but bump heads together and, blushing, stare at one another.
Don't.
I love Elianna, and she loves me. Consent with both that we may enjoy each other.
Then let your wedding be tomorrow. They shall be married tomorrow, but how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes.
I can do strange things, put you in your best array, bid your friends, for if you will be married tomorrow, and you shall, and to Rosalind if you will.
The morning sun breaks through into a clearing. Good Duke, receive thy daughter, Hymen from heaven brought her, that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If truth in sight, you are my daughter. If truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
Duke Frederick addressed a mighty power to take his brother here, and to the skirts of this wild wood he came. Meeting with an old religious man, he was converted from his enterprise, and from the world his crown bequeathing to his banished brother. The end.